Terms and conditions apply. This is my house because I said so. You are grounded. There are so many things that we as parents and guardians spit out or say out loud in such a rushed manner or in an angry and confrontational voice when our children seem not to understand they are living under our rules, that certain terms and conditions apply, and that they need to do what they are told to do when they are told to do it. My name is Mutegi, and this is my platform, Parenting Conundrums. Today's conversation is, what are the terms and conditions that apply in your house, in your home, and to the children that you are nurturing, that you are taking care of? When it comes to the consequences because of certain misbehavior, certain behaviors that seem not to be picked up easily by the children, we kind of fall short of what exactly do we need to do so that they can get it right. Don't they understand? So in the African context, we have the spanking, or where you have the physical discipline. But there are times, especially if the child is getting to the preteen and the teen years, whether it's a girl or a boy, they'll reach a point whereby the spanking doesn't get the effect that you intended to do. There are times when you have kept on asking, stating over and over again, but it seems it's getting in from one ear and out the other. Now, you are not alone in this. It is basic child developmental stage where they understand what you're saying at that moment, or they can hear you say something, but either it doesn't fall into their priorities. For you as a parent, as a guardian, you know that them making their bed, them doing their homework, them not spending too much time on TV, them having scheduled sleeping time, them doing whatever it is that you're telling them is beneficial to them and also to you, because if the house is running the way it's supposed to do, then at least you can have a sigh of relief. But what happens when you keep on repeating, when you keep stating, and over again, it seems there's something that's not clicking. So there's a video where I mentioned that, could it be that you need to teach, to mentor, to train your child in the ways that they are supposed to do that? Is it making the bed? Make it fun. Is it washing the dishes? Show them why the knife should not be in a pile of water with the dishes. It should always be separate. How to rinse. Is it about washing the clothes? Is it about washing or cleaning up the toilet? If you realize that your child seems not to be getting the thing right, the duty right, the task at hand right, it could be, okay, explain to me what could be going on. And then you understand, is it that they just needed to be supported in one way or the other, to be observed and then let go, and being given them the confidence that I'm doing something right? Is it good job? And you're telling them on the spot, or even later, I noticed the bed was made nicely. So that is one of the things that you have to look to. If there is a problematic behavior that is happening over and over again, you need to change the mode that you are addressing it. So having a conversation, great. If it is observing and realizing, okay, so is it a knowledge gap? Get the knowledge across. Now, when the behavior happens over and over again, we come to consequences. We shall have another video for rewards, because you need to catch them doing good. They're not always bad. But unfortunately, human nature always picks on the negative. So let us look through the aspects of consequences. How do you pass on, or how do you apply the terms and conditions within the household? Because indeed, we are giving them these terms and conditions to act like guardrails in their lives, because you don't want them crashing and flipping over, okay, metaphorically, in their lives. And even if they do, they get the guardrails and they get back on the right path. So when you are doing consequences, try as much as possible to brainstorm about them before. Look at your children. If it's one child, okay, what's a problematic issue? If it's multiple, what is this? And then equip yourself with information of what consequences you can give them in advance. And as I also mentioned about the family meetings, I'll link the video. You need to also have a conversation, especially as they grow older. It is a give and take, it's a negotiation, although there are some which are non-negotiables. And that's where now you say, in this house, yes, everybody else may be doing this, but in this house, we do A, B, C, and D. So by the time you are talking to your children, try as much as possible to have like a backup. Umeji panga, you have thought, okay, so do we need to talk about this, or is there a list of consequences already set up? It's best if you brainstorm about these things in advance, so that in the heat of the moment, it is not about anger and then saying you're grounded for life, no TV in the house. Because even for you in your house without TV, it's not just the children suffering. You might also be getting the short end of the stick if you say there's no Wi-Fi in this house, especially in the times that we live in. So you're looking at consequences that are important. It's a privilege that you remove from the child. It has to be immediate, especially for the little ones. They need to know, okay, it's because I have spilled milk. It is like whatever behavior, misbehavior has shown up, let it be linked. The consequence comes soon after, because they may not understand when you start punishing them or giving a consequence later, like 3 hours, 4 hours the next day and all this. So it has to be immediate. It has to be varied. You need to keep on changing, especially as a child grows older. You're dealing with a different individual. If they are preteen, the teen, you will need to switch up the game on what are these consequences that you're giving to your child. Because if you tell a child when they're younger, go to your room, it is kind of not so nice. But when you tell a preteen or a teenager, can you go to your room and I don't want to see you? Ladies and gentlemen, you have just given them paradise, quote unquote. So when it comes to the consequences, let's see, what is this thing? I'm giving examples. Please, disclaimer, work with what works for you. This is information, and especially with the overload of information, it is sit down and realize, okay, I have heard about this. What can I do about it? And then you make it work for you, okay? So if there's a child who keeps on using unkind words, like the curse words or being mean, and especially verbally, you can let them know that, by the way, the terms and conditions in this house, if I am informed or I hear you using bad words, then you will write a composition, you will write an essay, you will write if you're 7 years old, you're 6 years old, you're 11 years old, you will write 11 good things about the person you have cast out, that you have been mean to. You will basically, you're not trying to create pain, you're trying to let them know that, by the way, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I love that quote. So if you are being mean, you will, and you're caught being mean, it is stated that you're mean, then I will need evidence of you either standing in front of the person who you are mean to, and or writing a letter, because it could be in school and you have to. So you're writing, can you come up with as many good things about the person you are rude or mean to? If you are caught teasing or causing trouble with a sibling, sibling rivalry, I needed to get that right. You can tell them that if there's ever a fight, and usually that is going to happen, you will, if they are, hopefully they are sleeping in, they have their own individual beds. You can tell them you will make the bed for the significant, like whoever they were fighting with. If it is Tom, you will make Mary's bed. If it's Mary, you will make Tom's bed, or you will brush somebody else's shoes. You just look around and see what is this thing that they can do on the opposite for the opposing sibling. Okay, if they have been messy, they don't clean up after themselves, or they leave a messy toilet, you can tell that if I find and you're the one who was the last person in the toilet, you will clean the toilet. And the toilet is not usually the best room to clean. So if you leave a messy bathroom, messy kitchen, messy, it is your turn to clean up the entire room. If they are little, you may need a little bit of supervision and support. If you whine or complain, of which they do, please tell me 11 things if you're 11 years, 3 things if you're 3 years, hopefully a 3 out. And this is also depending on the age. So if they are 15, yes. If they are 10, if they are 8, tell them, can you please tell me, write it down, 8 things that you are grateful for. So you're kind of like spinning it. Yes, ka chonjo. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So the next time you want to be rude, the next time you want to be I hope you understand what that means. By the time you start grumbling, you realize I may need to write a whole essay about what I'm grateful for. But you making them realize, by the way, you are saying you have never, I have not bought you a snack. Just check what already you have. Then if you have a messy room, or basically, this is, when it comes to any misbehavior, there's the aspect of taking away their privileges, not the needs. It's not about food. Like for our generation, tuliambiwa, if you don't want to eat, you don't eat. But the current generation, unless, I don't know where you'll get away with saying you're not eating. So if it is about a misbehavior, you look at taking away their privileges. Privileges is sleeping. You need to sleep earlier. If you are sleeping at 7:30, you sleep at 7. If it is a misbehavior, you take away your privilege, there's no playtime. You come from school straight home, no going out for a specific period of time. Don't say forever, don't say for the entire month. It is that may lose its effectiveness. You say for 2-3 days, it depends. Look at the time, like where will it be most impactful? It could be the weekend when everybody is out, they are in. So you see, they lose the time. So if you need to do your homework, if you don't do your homework, then you need to check into the house without going out for a period of time, 2-3 days, and that kind of thing. So it hits hard, and they realize, by the way, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Is it about playtime? Is it about sleeping time? Is it about gadgets? You spend less on the gadgets. You're not watching TV for this season and that kind of thing. It's not no TV forever. As I've already explained, the entire house may not really be the best place if one child makes the entire house not watch TV. Okay? Then if it's lying, you can add an additional chore, an additional task. Okay, you have lied about making your bed. Okay, so you need to make your bed and brush everybody else's shoes, and you supervise them there. Let it not be such a big task that it has to be carried over. It is you addressing the lie there and then with something on the spot. Is it that you're the one who is look around the house and see, okay, it should not be too big. It should not be too big a task for the message to not hit home and for the emotions to boil over and everything, and it becomes hate and being repulsed by other people. So for now, those are the things that I can share. I know we'll look at rewards and other consequences, but I want to find out, is it easy for you to state the consequences, and do they work? What are you finding hard when it comes to getting your children on the straight and narrow and applying terms and conditions in your house? Do you even have house rules? So let's keep this conversation going on this platform and wherever else we meet. Thank you for subscribing, and all the best. See you in my next video. Bye.